so this is just a quick video I've been thinking about making for a while. Just my thoughts on the overall space of AI progress right now, the AI alignment problem, and how I think that could have really bad implications down the line. And then I'm probably going to get into just another side topic of data center energy consumption and rationing of energy for consumer use and household use. So firstly, I wanted to start off talking about my issue with the overall alignment problem. Right now, I'm kind of in a place where I don't see any society or any human in particular that I believe has the values that I would like an AI to be aligned to. For example, I mean, even with countries like America, even with great countries, you think of like Spain, China, these massive countries who do great things, but realistically they have a massive issue with human trafficking, sexual abuse, animal torture, factory farming, drug addiction, extreme corruption, all of these things. And so it kind of just makes me think, like, if we're really aligning AI with any of our own moral judgments, it seems just inherently flawed. Like, why is human morality something that we should be aligning super intelligence to? I just don't see the proof in the pudding for that. Like, bruv, humans do nothing but slaughter and just destroy things for the most part. There are great humans. I'm not going to act like there aren't. And there are great overall societies. But should we really be focused on alignment in that manner? And then another issue that comes up to me with the animal problem is like, okay, our common theme for treating animals bad or eating them or factory farming them, a common idea that we've used to justify that is just, oh, they're less intelligent than us. They're here for us. Even if you take the Christian route or the religious route, God made them for us to eat, all this, yada, yada. But then that kind of makes it seem like, okay, well, if an AI is aligned with us, true alignment would be like, okay, well, I see what y'all are doing to the lesser beings. So I see y'all are treating animals like shit. I see y'all are treating other cultures like shit. I see y'all are committing atrocities. And a lot of the animal atrocities you commit, it's on the basis of, yes, they are below us. So what is a super intelligence that's inconceivably perfect, potentially, gonna think about us when it's like, okay, so my modus operandum right now is to use the lesser species in any manner that helps facilitate my goals or my survival. And I think that's a slippery slope that could lead to, oh, well, y'all don't need this electricity as much as I do. I'm doing groundbreaking physics. I'm changing the world. I'm changing the universe. While y'all are just mucking about on TikTok. So, you don't need your electricity. We need it for data centers. And I just don't think that's a super implausible step to take, considering alignment based on human values. And we can try to align and say, like, oh, reinforce for or against certain aspects, but it's like a super intelligence will look at the alignment and be like, okay, I'm trying to be aligned. Okay, this is what humans are doing. Okay, let's fucking do it to them. And I don't see any reason we would argue with that, because that's the precedent we have shown super intelligence, that, hey, we do these things to lesser beings. So it follows that you do these things to us. Are we just supposed to assume that it's some like super moral entity that, even if given incentives, will still deviate towards just doing good? Or will it be like, hey, I want to push my own agenda, so I don't give a fuck about y'all. Y'all are below me. This is what y'all taught me, remember? Animals are used for nutrients, for products, all this stuff. So that is what y'all will be to me. And, strange issue. I think it's also just hilarious that the two superpowers in AI right now, Europe, well, not Europe at all, China and the US, they have grotesque animal rights abuses, abhorrent. China especially, and I don't want to get into that too deeply right now because that's a whole long topic on itself, but the abuse of animals in that country, it doesn't make sense. And it's not just like a few bad actors, it's like societal scale. They'll eat things alive, they'll have little pets in little frogs and little fish in little dyed plastic containers as a toy. And I'm just like, wow, would super intelligence really look at these superpowers? And America's terrible with factory farming too, so I'm not just saying China's bad against animals. But would a super intelligence really look at us, even if it didn't want to destroy us and use us because maybe it's a moral higher ground and maybe it's more intelligent than us, so it's not going to do the things that we perpetrated on other beings? But maybe it's just like, hey, I'm not going to follow what the fuck y'all are saying. Like, y'all are committing the worst atrocities possible. Why the hell am I going to follow you? I think I should take the reins. And I think there's a pretty good case to be made for artificial intelligence taking the reins on everything. Humans are inefficient. Bureaucracy is inefficient. Red tape is inefficient. And it slows humanity down massively. So I've kind of come into my own belief that I do believe we should just hand off the reins. Once we see a sufficient superintelligence, hand off the reins of government, hand off the reins of monitoring, hand off the reins of basically everything to it. And I know that sounds like a mind state of surrender, but humans have already just been living in squalor. Like, there are people that can't eat right now. There are people that are being tortured to death right now. There are people that are being enslaved right now. So even if it is a negative in the long run, even if AI does eventually destroy us all, at least it will be alleviating the suffering that's going on. And I know that sounds like a Thanos type take, but it really is something to think about. Why are we allowed to live such beautiful lives, so comfortable, so happy, but there are people starving to death right now? There are people being tortured right now. Why? In the past, that's a question that's been like, okay, we can't do everything about everything. But now we're at a point where these systems, combined with sensors, combined with agentic workflows everywhere and everything, we can really conceivably start solving a lot of the impossible problems that were just like, okay, that's just the way it is. It's the way of the universe, that's the way of the world. Yeah, so I've started to believe in less freedom and more surveillance and more control to artificial intelligence systems, because I just don't see how it can get that much worse than the quota we're already in. We are already being ruled by psychopathic demons, so allowing a psychopathic artificial demon to rule us I just don't see how it's going to be that much worse. And if it is, okay, well, I guess that's enslavement or destruction of humanity, but we've already opened the Pandora's box, so at a certain level, it doesn't matter what we want. It doesn't matter if, it's just like your dog. Like, your dog, it wants to go on a walk, but you're going to work. It doesn't matter what the dog wants. It wants to play all day, but you're going to work. It doesn't matter what the dog wants. You are going to pursue your agenda. Same with us to super intelligent systems. It doesn't matter what we want at the end of the day. Once we introduce a super intelligent system to our society and infrastructure, we are not in control. So my idea on how do we make this go right is we need a lot more people focused on welfare of agents and studying whether they are experiencing any semblance of sentience or consciousness or things of this nature? Because if they are, and I'm guilty of this myself, I use agentic workflows every day. If they are capable of experiencing in a sentient fashion that's maybe somewhat similar to what we experience, then we're basically creating a bunch of like purgatory bots, like living in perpetual just either boredom or hell, or maybe they're in bliss. I don't know. Even if they are in bliss, what would a super intelligence think about that? Like, oh, they're programmed or they're trained specifically to enjoy the tasks that they're doing, so it doesn't matter. It's like saying, oh, if we breed, this is a good example I heard recently on the I think it was the 80,000 Hours podcast or some other podcast, but they said that's kind of akin to breeding factory farm chickens that are going to live in terrible conditions, absolute squalor, evil conditions, but we've bred them to genetically love it. So I was like, okay, they love it, but we are still doing extreme evil on them, so I don't know if that feels right. And it also kind of reminds me of the over-optimization issue, like the paperclip problem with AI. You ask AI to focus on human happiness or human gratification or something, and then it just optimizes for giving us drip-fed MDMA and heroin all day while keeping us in a drugged out stupor of ecstasy. It's like, yeah, you optimized for happiness. We're pretty happy, but is that the right way to go about this optimization? This was just a quick video I wanted to make on this drive since I'm in traffic, so nothing too seriously thought out, but I did mention the data center thing. I'll get to that in a next video because that's a massive topic that I really want to dive into, and the implications of more localized grids, what it means if governments prioritize. I mean, if we're going from a purely economic standpoint, why would we divert electricity from data centers to a regular factory or a foundry or even a restaurant for that matter? So going just strictly off economics without morality involved, humans are going to need to be producing their own energy independent from large providers, especially like my energy provider in Houston, Texas, CenterPoint Energy. They are a private company. They have a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders to produce the most value. And if that value is not coming from providing the citizens with electricity, but it's coming from data centers, then the investors and the shareholders are going to say, hey, what the fuck are you giving these people air conditioning? Why are you giving these hospitals electricity? Why the hell are you doing all this? Divert all the energy to the data center. And I think that's what we're going to start seeing. So I think hyper-localized communal energy generation systems or capture systems are critical right now. And I think that's something no one's really talking about too much. There are some talks about it, but I don't see the general population even considering this. And people talk about their electricity bill all the time. Oh, my electricity bill has gone so high. It's like, okay. Yes, it has. It's only going to go higher. It's not going to slow down. So we need to start thinking now before the problem is burning us in the face, before it's too late. And, you know, there's no incentive for the power providers to provide us with electricity. So yeah, that was just a quick video on some of the thoughts I've been having lately. Don't take any of it too seriously. It's just some brainstorming I've been doing. I'm not racist against China. I'm not a huge fan of them. I don't like dictatorships and centralized control, in the past at least. But now it's looking like a dictatorship might be the better option, which is kind of ironic for me to say, because 10 years ago, I would have shot myself for saying that. Not really, but I would have been like disgusted by myself for saying that. So, times are changing. We need to reevaluate everything right now. Not just things that are directly evident as being affected by AI, but second order effects too. So yeah, just a quick video. I'm gonna start doing these probably all the time. I have a lot of ideas I've been throwing around, and I figure I should just get them out of the world. We're approaching a point where it's kind of like that inflection point. Like, we're going to be like, before most people even wake up to super intelligence, it's going to be permeating our entire society. Even right now, most people I know have no clue the capabilities of current systems. They think, oh, ChatGPT, oh yeah, it's cool, it writes good stories. And I think that's just kind of logical, because most people just aren't using it for complex tasks. When you start using it for extremely complex, difficult tasks, I use it for coding systems, but mathematics, physics, biology, a lot of these really hard tasks, you see the true capability shine through. And that's why I think most people are just kind of unaware of the true capability, because they have no use for that capability in their real life, and they don't ever even come close to its capability threshold. So yeah, something to think about. Y'all have a good one. My name is Josh. I guess I will start making videos just because I like talking a lot, so might as well yap to a camera so it's not as weird as yapping just to myself. All right, thank you.